Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification. I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, that 40-ish and under dollar range, and most of these way less than that. A good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. If there's flaws in this video or anything like that, forgive me, because I'm not going to really do any edits. I'm just going to fly through this thing because I'm on a time crunch. You know, storm's approaching, and I got to pack my stuff and get out of here. I'm in a trailer, so not going to be good in this thing in Tampa Bay. So I got 5 fragrances. Actually, I got about 20 of them, so I'm going to keep doing these videos. I got about 20 fragrances that I just can't get enough of. I smell them a lot. If I'm not wearing them, I just pick off the cap and I smell it and just like kind of bathe in the presence of that thing, if you will. Yeah, you'll see by some of the dents taken out of these bottles, I just keep on reaching for these things. Even though I got so many fragrances, I just can't get enough of these ones, like I said. So let's go ahead and start things off with Salvatore Ferragamo's Aqua Essenziale Blue. This is actually my second bottle of this, 3.4 ounce. Look at the dent already taken out of it. Atomizer cap clicks pretty decent into place. And what this one smells like, you'll hear Bleu de Chanel, and that's not totally wrong because it does have that kind of vibe with that. With the citrus up top, not as much citrus as Bleu de Chanel. Bleu de Chanel is a ginger citrus, like grapefruit ginger pop. This one does not. This one has a little bit of lemon. It's subtle, but it's there, keeping it nice and bright, and works in the warmer weather. But it does have a thick, rich, powdery heart. This cypriol oil, the powdery lavender, the powdery tonka bean, making this thing just versatile whenever, however. It's got a little bit of class. It's got that crowd-pleasing quality. It's office-friendly as can be. It lasts okay. It's not some kind of beast. It's a 5-hour fragrance. The projection isn't that strong on this one, so you can spray away pretty good, but I have found out that if you spray too much, there's some kind of muskiness that might not be so pleasant. So I recommend 8 to 10 sprays is cool with this one, and you'll have a nice personal scent bubble for 3 or 4 hours just smelling good in that Bleu de Chanel vibe. If you like fragrances like Bleu de Chanel with a little bit of citrus and a powdery kind of heart, then you might, if you're a sucker for powder, this one. But it's not like old man powder. It's not like a dominant thing. It's just in this fragrance. Up next, one that is not so old in my collection, but I just can't stop reaching for this thing. Afnan Supremacy, Not Only Intense. When I shake it, judging by the juice level, it's probably somewhere around right there. And this is a 155 milliliter bottle, so it's big. And you'll hear Creed Aventus. You'll hear people say it's a Creed Aventus clone. I don't think it's a clone. I think it's heavily inspired because it has a lot of the same qualities as Creed Aventus. The black currant. This doesn't have pineapple, but it kind of borrows from that with the certain citruses that it uses. So the opening is similar. The smokiness is similar. But the black currant in this one is way richer and darker and thicker, and it's got a more inky thing. It holds on to some of that smoke, but not as much. Not as much. It's like it's got more of a sweet, fruity thing with that black currant inky. It's like a dark version of Aventus. This one isn't quite as summer friendly, but again, this thing will work whenever, however. I reach for this thing all the time. I get done with work, I want to go out to eat or go bowling or something like that, and for some reason I just keep reaching for this thing. Maybe because it lasts a long time and it smells amazing. That could be one of the reasons, but this one just had to make this list because it just does it for me. And I think, honestly, more men compliment this fragrance and Aventus than women. But regardless, it's for you anyhow. It's not fragrances aren't necessarily meant for compliments. So there's that. Afnan Supremacy. Dark, rich, heavy version of Aventus. Citrus, floral, black currant like crazy. Smokiness and some woods at the base. Versace Dylan Blue, one of my favorite fragrances that I own. I need another bottle, actually. The juice level is just about gone. And this, good atomizer on these. I probably shouldn't have sprayed that because I don't have much juice in it. So the incense citrus in this, incense, citrus, amber, ambroxan, that's the main things. Also a bit of a pepperiness. So in order, you're gonna get, really, let me start afresh. Like I said, not gonna be many edits. Citrus, aquatic, peppery, smoky Ambroxan amber. The amber gives a little bit of sweetness. You want to talk about versatile. This one, it's strong enough to work in cold weather and fresh enough with the citrus and the aquatic notes that it works in this summer. It's not a gym fragrance because it's so loud. If it wasn't so loud, then I would say it's a gym fragrance, and you will go nose blind with this thing. You will. You won't think you're pumping off as hard as you are. Trust me, you are. You really are. In fact, I wore this not too long ago, and I didn't think that it was pumping off very hard. And like a kid, like I was bowling, kid on the next aisle, I was like, somebody's wearing a lot of cologne. And I was like, oh man, it's this one. And it does it every time. This thing pumps off hard. Everybody that I know that owns this thing, I'll smell them the whole entire day with it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the Ambroxan or something that causes me to have a fatigue in my nose or something, but yeah, something about this one really pumps off hard. And man, that smoky citrus amber just really is attention grabbing in my opinion. Coupled with some of that black pepper and the aquatic notes, I love this fragrance. Alberto Marias, master perfumer, my favorite perfumer. Lattafa Khamrah. This thing is so good. So good. That sweet cinnamon, slightly apple pie, boozy kind of a fragrance. Lots of that. I mean, this thing is like Thanksgiving in a bottle to me. And in the air, it's a little bit different than off the atomizer, because I didn't think I was getting that much of the booziness. I could detect it, but just the other day I sprayed this. I don't know if it's because it matured a little bit, but in the air I was like, holy smokes, that really does smell like the inside of an empty whiskey barrel or something. It really has that quality. The one thing that this is missing, doesn't make it bad. Why can't I close this thing? Between this and Angel Share is more of a warm apple pie vibe, whereas this just has sprinkles of that apple pie thing going on in it. So if you want a sweet, cinnamony, spicy, boozy fragrance, this one is going to do it for you. This one will do the trick. It's really, really hard not to like this thing. Really hard. Unisex, loud, long-lasting, 8-10 hours or so. This thing lasts a really good amount of time. I can't complain about it. Compliment monster. There's something captivating, warming, inviting about this fragrance. So if you see this one at Burlington or whatever, it's worth every penny. There's other fragrances that are in this ballpark that are cheaper, but there's something about the quality of this one that I can't get enough of it. I really, really enjoy it. I reach for it and look for it more than the others. And one of my most recent pickups as far as fragrances out, which is wowed by, is Maison Alhambra's John Lowe Immortal. This one does have loads of ginger in it. It's a citrus ginger spicy fragrance. I think that got right on the microphone there. Yeah, there's something about this spicy ginger citrus thing going on in this. I'm a sucker for a citrus spicy amber. I found that out with Rubroca, with Tarathi Blue. I love that DNA, and this has aspects of that. This is Louis Vuitton L'Aventura. I haven't smelled that one, but people kind of compare this to that Bulgari Tigar kind of a thing, and I think it's because of that very, very bright, poppy, like grapefruit, ginger, citrus, spicy thing that's going on. This one doesn't have the sweetness of like Tarathi, and it's even brighter, and I think a little bit heavier on like the black pepper type of a spice. Overall, it's so good in my opinion. Some people say lemon cleaner or whatever. I think they're just hating on it because you can spend like $25 and smell like a much more expensive fragrance. So I think that's why a lot of these clones get hated on, that people can spend like $25 and smell like a $200 fragrance and get 90% similar with probably 80% of the quality, you know? So like, I don't know how you would per capita, like these are better buys, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's real quick, just 5 fragrances that I can't get enough of. If you haven't smelled these ones, if you trust my opinion, check these things out. They're pretty safe blind buys. Every one of these are pretty safe blind buys for that matter. And yeah, y'all be safe. Any of you guys that are, you know, I know we got a couple people watching this that said that they are in Florida too. So be safe. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always. And until next time.